So conflict, why do we struggle with conflict resolution when we've been in a trauma response? And why is it so difficult to navigate? Well, conflict is something that everybody encounters. Everyone encounters it. Yet for many of us, it's really deeply uncomfortable. And for some people, it's a really terrifying experience. Some of you may avoid conflict at all costs. So while others meet it with defensiveness, but why? Why is conflict so difficult for us to deal with? Why do we react in such different ways? And most importantly, how can we manage conflict in a way that's healthy, that's constructive, that's beneficial to our relationships or our closest relationships? Now, for those of you that have a history of trauma, conflict is often not just a disagreement. It can feel like a threat. It's like trauma itself. Now, trauma conditions our brain to seek safety, and conflict, even if it's really small, activates our survival instincts. It's whether a person freezes or lashes out or withdraws or they become reactive. It's often shaped by our past experiences. And particularly when we've been during our childhood and also our parental influences. So what we've learned from our parents. So today I want to explore, why is conflict so difficult? And how does our trauma influence our conflict response, and what steps can we take? So number one, why do we find trauma so difficult? Conflict is so difficult. Well, conflict is hard because it creates uncertainty. And when someone is raised in a really unpredictable or unstable environment, conflict can trigger really, really deep-seated fears of rejection, abandonment, or danger. Additionally, when we have unresolved trauma or unprocessed trauma, does that make it difficult to regulate emotions? Absolutely yes. So if you've been wounded emotionally in the past and you struggle with conflict, it's because you really can't communicate, and that's really, really difficult. So why do we react to conflict in different ways? Now, not everybody approaches conflict the same way. Some people have a fight mode, some go into flee mode, some freeze. And the lesser known is what we call fawn, or people pleasing. Now, these reactions are largely shaped by our past trauma and what we call our trauma history, your trauma timeline. It's what's happened there that affects you now. So what you really have to understand is, what is my conflict style? So number one, the fighter. This is the person that meets conflict head on. They can be seen as being quite aggressive. They've learned this behavior. They might often need to be louder, stronger, more forceful, but it just stems back from what they were taught in their past. Number two, the avoider. This person just withdraws from conflict, and sometimes it leaves them with a physical feeling and emotional shutdown. So they just retract or remove themselves. Was that how they had to grow up? Is that their only coping mechanism during childhood? And then number three, the freezer. This response is characterized by feeling stuck and very often unable to respond. So this freeze during conflict is because the body's gone into survival state. In fact, it's that cerebral atrophy or brain shrink that happens and we pull away. And number four, the people pleaser, the fawn response. And this person immediately tries to smooth things over. They try and make sure everyone's okay. They appease. But inevitably, what happens? So that person gets trampled on. That's the person that becomes the doormat to everybody. Understanding your conflict style is key to you changing these unhealthy patterns. And if you can recognize your automatic response, they can it means that you can begin to challenge your response and choose a much healthier way. Now, we have far more complex, some easy, some more complex solutions available in our trauma recovery method program. We use a toolkit that's designed, and one of the toolkits available to our clients is communication mastery. This allows you to manage your conflict and your conversations and have a far better outcome. So all of this is available in our trauma recovery method. If you struggle with food and nutrition and your gut health is terrible, we have a nutritional coach in our program called Carey, where we help with gut support. And if you struggle with feelings of low self-esteem, your confidence isn't great, well, we have our amazing resiliency coach called Megan. Now, we know that our clients need tools, they need structure, they need process and techniques to help them move through these really overwhelming feelings of trauma. I hope you enjoyed today. Have a super, super day. Bye.